Hi, my name is Cheryl Ryan Chan, and I am a person-centered planning facilitator and person-centered practitioner. I'm also mom to Nikki, a young man who is 30 years old and is profoundly affected by autism and intellectual disabilities. I'm here today to talk to you about circles of support because over the past 10 years, I've worked with hundreds and hundreds of families. And in doing so and doing person-centered planning, I often find that I'm spending a lot of time talking with them about circles of support, one of the most critical elements of supporting themselves or the people that they love. So what is a circle of support? I like to describe it as in the context of myself or ourselves, those of us without disabilities. Because we all have circles of support. We just don't call them circles of support. We all have people that we love and in our what we call our circle of intimacy. We all have friends who we can count on and who can count on us. We all have people in our lives who are there because of an association, a shared interest, our yoga class partners, the people that we work with at work, people that we worship with. And then we all have people who are paid to be in our lives. Now, those are the four circles that we talk about when we talk in the context of person-centered planning about relationships. But it's a natural thing. We all have them. The truth is, being interdependent is a part of the human experience. We need others in our lives, all of us, for support, for resources, and most importantly, in my opinion, for the sustainability of our joy and dignity. We need to have relationships. That's what makes us human, regardless of our abilities or challenges. So let's bring this concept into normalcy and use it and apply it that way when we're talking about the people that we love. Now, in the context of person-centered planning, it's important to include people in the life of the person we're planning for a number of reasons. For the focused person, bringing in others and giving them permission to participate in their planning means that there will be a much more rounded picture of their strengths and gifts. Once again, in terms of the human experience, I think of myself, my circle of support, knows me in different contexts. Each person knows me a little bit differently. So when they're included in discussions about who I am, my strengths and my gifts, my needs and so on and so forth, the things that I don't like, together with the people that I'm most intimate with, they are able to weave a colorful tapestry of my life. The same goes for you. The same goes for every single one of us. And especially for people with disabilities, we need those multiple voices because when others are included in the planning process, one of the other important things that happens is there's more clarity and focus about a person's dreams and their needs, and this creates more commitment and buy-in when it's time to do the ask. We create positive space where relationships can build, even with those we are already close to. And we can even open opportunity for long-term commitments that might sustain beyond us as parents and caregivers. And that is where often I find families begin to understand the concept of circles of support and building those when we start talking about when we're no longer there. The idea that we can leave our loved ones with a group of people dedicated to maintaining the joy and dignity and safety of their lives. That's what circles of support is about. It's for now and for later. The challenge for people with disabilities is that they don't have access to all of the things that you and I do, all the resources, all the opportunities that we're able to seek and find, those that help us naturally build our own circles of support. Things like choosing where we go and when, who we talk to, how we interact, even finding those that we necessarily don't want in our lives. That's just as important. We get to choose all of those things when we don't have the kinds of challenges that the people that we love have. People that depend on others for their safety and daily living are denied all of those opportunities in the system-centered world that we're living in right now. Important to remember. Authentic, natural relationships are not built within the systems spaces where our loved ones are. I shouldn't go that far. Sometimes they are, but are they sustained? Staff people might become, close to the person that we love. We see that happen often. But then those staff people leave and they're gone. We might see our loved ones build relationships with other folks that are their peers. But how are those relationships being built and sustained outside of maybe that day program or that employment program? This means that it's very hard for all of that to happen. And so this means that the concept of circles of support needs to be approached with intention, far more intention than what we do naturally. We may need to help our loved ones find and build relationships. We need to make ourselves vulnerable and allow others to come in and invite them in. That's a big ask. That is a big shift from what we're used to doing, because as caregivers and loved ones, we naturally tend to be more protective. And within that protection, which comes from a place of love, we tend to kind of get in the way of allowing others in. So this is a big shift. We also need to shift our perspective on what relationships look like. They may look different from what we might naturally think of. So we have to be open-minded and foster relationships where the person is that we love. It may look different. It may not be this, natural, reciprocal, language-based relationship. It may be based on other things that make our person happy. So we have to make sure that we stay open-minded about what relationships might look like. And also allow other people who are committed to being part of the circle of support define what their own relationship with your loved one is going to look like. You don't need to dictate that. You don't need to be managing that. All of this comes under the heading of intention. And people with disabilities and their loved ones are going to have a lot of work to do. So right now we can start by committing to opening our hearts and minds to the idea that we all deserve to have all sorts of people in our lives, that our loved ones are capable of loving and being loved. And from there, the rest is just planning and providing opportunities. It's not that easy. I don't mean to make it sound easy, but that's what it's all about. I want you to ask yourself an important question. Are you in the way of authentic relationships being built for yourself or the person that you love because of your disabilities and because of your own fears? If the answer to that question is yes, or maybe when you think about it a little bit, it's important for you to know that you're not alone. I just want you to know a lot of us go through this and it's okay. What we need to know is that we need to, like I said, over and over, approach this concept and idea with intention. And we need to remember that circles of support are natural, but also necessary. So reach out to someone at Pathways to Friendship and learn more about circles of support. As I've said very often when I talk with families, building a circle of support for your loved one is the most important gift that you can give to that person. Best of luck. Thank you.